Most fresh OpenClaw installations look finished the moment the gateway starts. You can send a few test messages and everything seems fine. But underneath that clean surface, the default setup is surprisingly fragile. The real problems usually show up a few days later. Memory starts to feel inconsistent, your default search provider turns into a daily token cost annoyance, and background cron jobs quietly miss their runs without throwing a single error. You can fix this by taking 30 to 60 minutes right after installation to run a deliberate hardening pass. We are going to build a resilient WhatsApp-first workflow backed by a completely free local search stack. Making OpenClaw reliable enough for daily use means locking down your memory, docs access, and secrets. You have to narrow your focus to the channels and tools you actually use, rather than wiring up every available integration on day one. Step 1 is giving your assistant a defined identity. Go ahead and open your fresh workspace directory in your text editor. We need to set up a few core configuration files before doing anything else. You need to populate 5 specific Markdown documents: SOUL, user, identity, tools, and memory. These files tell the system who it serves, what tools matter for your workflow, and what boundaries it must respect. Without them, your agent will drift into giving generic, weak advice. This diagram shows how we structure the agent's memory. We use a 2-tier architecture. On one side, you have durable, long-term facts and rules. On the other, you have a chronological stack of daily work logs. Those daily work logs need to be strictly organized. Every log must go into the memory directory and be formatted exactly as year-month-day.md. This holds your daily decisions and outcomes. To keep this running, we let the local Heartbeat utility handle the maintenance. Heartbeat automatically creates today's file if it is missing, and it periodically promotes major learnings from the daily log over into the durable facts document. By letting Heartbeat automate your memory hygiene, you keep the agent's context window clean. The system maintains its continuity without turning your file directory into a disorganized junk drawer. Even the best API providers experience rate limits and outages. If your system depends on a single connection, it will eventually stop working when you need it most. You need a fail-safe model configuration. This graphic illustrates the exact 3-tier model stack we use for this environment. At the top, we set OpenAI-codex /GPT 5.4 as the primary engine for heavy lifting. If that primary connection slows down or fails, the system is configured to silently transition to fallback 1, which is Google/Gemini 3.1 Pro preview. If that also fails, it drops to fallback 2, XAI/Grok 4.1 fast reasoning. With the engine secured, we have to look at how you actually talk to it. Wiring up 4 different chat integrations on day 1 introduces multiple authentication surfaces to maintain and guarantees configuration drift over time. Go into your settings and disable the web chat, Slack, and Discord integrations. For a practical daily setup, isolate your messaging surface exclusively to WhatsApp. A smaller setup that works every single day is far better than a broad setup that fails in 4 different ways. Harden the channel where your actual work happens and ignore the rest until there is a real need. Next, we need to fix the research stack. Relying on default token-based search engines like Brave for your daily operations creates immediate financial pressure and rate limit friction. Instead of paying for every exploratory search, replace that default endpoint with a local SERXNG instance. SERXNG is a free, open-source meta-search engine that aggregates results from other services without tracking data. Pointing your search layer here eliminates your per-query costs entirely. You also need to protect your ability to troubleshoot. Official documentation sites inevitably go down, and if that happens while you are working, you hit a severe operational bottleneck. To fix this, pull a context7 mirror of the OpenClaw documentation directly from context7.com and save it into your local workspace folder. This becomes your resilient reference layer. By decoupling your primary search functionality and your reference documents from the cloud, your assistant remains fully functional, even during wide-scale external outages. Finally, we need to lock down the perimeter. There is no point chasing optional, complex security ideas while your basic local hygiene is still loose. Open your network configuration and strictly bind the OpenClaw gateway to your loopback address, 127.0.0.1. While you are there, make sure basic gateway authentication is actively enabled. Next, tighten the file permissions specifically on your credentials directory. You must keep secrets out of random workspace files to prevent your local environment from being exposed. Now, go back to your Heartbeat utility and configure its secondary function. Set it to monitor your critical recurring cron jobs. A cron job is a time-based scheduling tool that runs automated background tasks. Heartbeat will check these schedules to catch any stale or failed runs. Securing your local file access and actively monitoring your background task health stops the quiet, invisible degradation that ruins most automated systems. Let's review the post-install checklist to verify our work. Your identity and memory files are current. The fallback models are set. WhatsApp is your sole messaging surface. SEER.xng handles search. Your local docs are mirrored, and your local security is locked down. With local dependencies locked in and communication boundaries tightened, the system responds instantly and reliably to every input. If you are ready to push this setup further or build out advanced automated workflows, head over to flowgrammer.ca to connect with the builder community. True, production-grade reliability does not come from endless feature expansion. It comes from deliberate subtraction and local hardening. Lock down what you use, remove what you do not, and get to work.